At this time, I was 6 months into this profession. And I was thinking, at this time, I had to be a platinum or, for example, a diamond. So I crushed the business because I want to be successful. But at this moment, I was gold. And there is no problem with the rank of gold. But I had a problem how I made this gold. Because my first customer was my mom, who canceled the subscription for 1 week at this day. And my first partner, who bring me the credits for this rank of gold, was my girlfriend, who won't build a business with me because she's thinking this is a scam. I signed up by myself, so she has a decision. So at this time I was thinking, why is it not working for me? I put all the action in this business. I make these calls, learn the skills, put in this action. But nothing happened. And at this day I start sitting down and thinking, maybe it isn't working for me. Maybe this isn't the right business for me. Because at this time I was really good in complaining and blaming others for this. And I remembered, Michael told me, if I have a problem, tell me, I will help you. And I made an appointment with Michael and told him about my problems. Hey Michael, I think it isn't working for me, the people in the north, they have no money and I don't know. Maybe I'm still this 1-2 Polizei guy. And he helped me in this situation. He helped me, we trained the skills, and after this meeting, I should thinking, yes, now I got it. Now I know how to build this business. But I was still thinking, maybe this isn't working for me. Maybe I don't have this story because everyone is getting these customers so easily. Everyone is recruiting partners, makes these ranks, but not me. What is wrong with me? So I made a second meeting with Mike at the end of the week and was telling him this problem. I'm not sure if I'm the right person. And in this conversation, we talked a lot about how to build a story, how to create a story. And yes, it was really important. It was a big part for my business, the how to build a story. But in this conversation, we made something more important. We talked about the thinking. And Michael planted a seed into my mind, which didn't grow so fast at this moment, but over time, I found a story because of this meeting, which brings me to the point I can get a lot of customers, I can create a big business with a lot of team partners. And I want to share this story with you because I don't want to let you wait 2 years like I had to do. But before I tell you this story, I want to explain to you why is storytelling so important and how to tell a good story. Because if you don't have these facts, you don't understand why this story is so important and so good. So let's go dive into this topic. Why storytelling matters. You have to understand, storytelling is in our profession a big tool for you. You have to understand, if you don't use storytelling, you are not a network marketing professional, because this is our business. It's just telling stories. Especially in the beginning, it's really hard for us because we think we are not good enough. We don't have this kind of story. We have no success. But I can tell you, it's better to tell stories about people who improve their health or who build a business instead of telling facts. There's a wording we use, it's facts tell, story sell. Because if you tell the person a story, you create these emotions. You build a picture in the mind of the person and create such a little hope in the mind of the person. So he starts thinking, hey, maybe if this works for another person, it could also work for me. And that's why storytelling is so important, because you build trust. You build trust. And I can tell you, the people want to buy if they trust you. If they don't trust you, we have such a good product, but if they don't trust you, they will not buy your test, they will not buy your balance oil or some other products. So it's your mission to build the trust. But how can we make a good story? How is a good structure of a story? So there are 4 parts. The first part is your background. So where are you in life at the moment? The second part is the pain point. The third part is a solution. And the fourth, this is the vision. In these 4 parts, there's one part which is the most important part. So I have a question to you. Who's thinking that the first part is the most important part? Hands up. Okay, not so much. Who? Oh. Who is thinking it's the second, the pain point? Yeah! You're really smart. But there is a big problem, because most people think it's the fourth part. Most people think it's the vision or the solution. But if you only tell the people the vision, the inspiring part, they don't connect to you, because you didn't tell them something about your pain. And if you focus in your story about the pain, they see you, they can feel you. Maybe they have the same problem like you. They feel it the same way. And if you tell them about this, and you don't stay there and say, hey, I'm an ambassador, it's so easy. If you go into this pain and tell them, I wasn't happy in my profession as a police officer, because of this. Then you build connection, and out of this connection, you get the trust. And then you can go on with your story. So that is what you have to understand. The background is to understand you as a person. The pain point, this is the connection. The solution, you create hope in the mind of the person. Hey, maybe this could also work for me. And the fourth point is to inspire the person in front of you. There are some different time frames for a good story. You have to understand, if you want to hook a person, you could use a short story, for example, 45 seconds, because it's always better to make a short story and give them a short hook than putting all the buttons in the elevator to make the driving longer and say, hey, I can tell you a little bit more about you. I think this wouldn't be so good for your person in front of you. The second part is, for example, you can make 2 or 3 minutes for a meeting introduction, telling the people more about you so that the person can connect to you. And the third part is a 5-minute story. You can go much deeper into your story. You can, for example, if you have a coaching or something and you want to let your mentor know why you want this tell the story, or on stage. I think a big part in the how is to understand you have to use the right story for the right person. There are different types of stories. So, as I said, you can use your own story and tell them something about you, especially in the beginning. You don't feel very well this is because of this. We tell a lot of stories about other person, about other people, for example, our mentor, because they already made it. And this is completely fine. So you can create your own story step by step. And on the other hand, you could build a story focus. You could say, hey, there's the same person, but I tell them out of other focus. So, like Marco always said about my story, I could use this 1, 2 Polizei story, but I could also use my product story, so how it benefits my health. I could also tell them something about how I developed in entrepreneurship. So my person has different stories. and you also have different stories, and every one of us can tell the story with another focus. And the last part is about a specific target group. So for example, if you are a physiotherapist or you talk to a physiotherapist, it would be better to maybe tell a story about a physiotherapist than a mom, than a police officer or something else. So if you understand this, you can make your own story collection. Start from the beginning, write all your stories down. If you heard it on a team call, or if you heard about it on an event, or something else, start collecting the stories and tell them to the people you connect to. You think, okay, this is the right story for this person. So I want to give you a short example how a story could look like. So it isn't complicated. Just put the structure and put some information into the structure. So for example, if we have a mom, the background. Okay, it's a mom with a stable job, for example in the office, and she has some kids, is really happy with her husband and her kids, but there is this pain point. There is this pain point. She don't like the job, it's only to earn money. And on the other side, the biggest pain point is, yes, she's doing this job, but she has no time for her kids, for her family. And if Petra, in this moment, dive into this pain and start explaining her pain, you build this connection. The third point is the solution. For example, hey, and now I met Marco, and Marco introduced me to this opportunity, this Cincino fair. And I heard about some people who did it as a mom too, so I was thinking, maybe that could work for me. Maybe that could work for me, and now my vision is to build it part-time next to my job in the office and help other people to develop, create my own dream life, and have more time for the kids, and help other moms too. This would be an easy story. So I hope you understand. Storytelling isn't the hard part. It is starting telling a story, using storytelling what is the hard part. Because we, like I said in the beginning, we want to always give all these effects to the people. So you have to understand, the story can change, but the structure doesn't change. If you keep the structure up, storytelling is simple, easy. So I want to give you the key takeaways for storytelling. The first one, like I told you, facts tell, stories tell. So decrease the facts you tell anyone in a presentation or in an invitation or something, and try to implement more stories in your business. The second part, if you tell a story, go deep into the pain point. I know we normally don't talk about this pain point because we think that we are weak, other people could laugh about us, but it's so important, as I said, to connect to the person. Tell the right stories to the right person and keep the structure up. And I know there are some people in this room who are completely new. Or maybe there are some people who want to say, hey, now I want to develop my people and I want to give them a simple story. So let's answer these questions. These are questions for your first simple story. So how did you hear about Cincino? Why did you listen to this guy who told you the Cincino stuff? Why did you start? This is what the people are thinking. And then tell them where you want to go. Tell them your vision. So if you have a new one, give them this question. You will see, if you answer this question, write it down, you will have a simple story for the beginning. So I want to come back to the seed Michael planted nearly 4 years ago into my mind. The first conversation we had was about the how. How I improving, how I building this business. But on the other hand, the second conversation was about the thinking, the belief. Because out of this conversation, I started telling my story. I wasn't sure that it is the right story, but I was telling the story. And I was telling the story again, again, again. And it happened. There was results. I got some meetings. Out of these meetings, I got some customers. I recruited some partners. And I started believing. I started believing, hey, maybe this could work for me. Maybe if I got this one customer, I could get a second one. Hey, if I can sign up this one partner, maybe I can get 2, maybe I can get 10. And I start believing. So it wasn't about my perfect story. It was about the point I start believing. Because as the moment I start believing in myself, my energy was going up, I become more confident, and I started telling my story more consistently, more often, and the results grow, grow, and grow. So I want that you understand, belief isn't made in the beginning. Belief grow while you as a person are growing. So you have to understand, it's not about the perfect one, it's about starting. And I want to invite you here today, go out. Tell everyone your story. Tell everyone what you want to do. It don't have to be perfect. It don't have to be a special one. It has to be your story. So own your story, tell it consistently, and everything will grow by itself.